And welcome to everyone. Today our guest is Aaron Farge, MMA fighter. So Aaron, how are you generally feeling about the upcoming fight, and how are your preps going on?
I feel great. I feel excited. This is I've been working really hard with my team and my coaches. I have a tough opponent, so I'm excited about that as well. I'll be fighting Arthur Arthunian from originally from Armenia, born in Armenia, and I know he's very going to be very tough. So I'm excited about the challenge.
Yeah, that's pretty much awesome. Well, let's go with question by question. When did you start training MMA, and which was your first martial art? Do you have a fundamental martial art?
Yes, I probably seriously started training about 2010. Seriously training with other MMA fighters, but I started wrestling when I was a lot younger. I would say probably 2000, mid to like long before that. So I would say wrestling is what I originally started doing, and then I picked up boxing as a teenager, and then obviously with jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai now in MMA. So everything has been blended together, and I feel everything is coming full circle in my MMA career.
That is awesome. Did you come up with a nickname, maybe considering you're a pro for a long time right now?
I haven't. I've had a couple that have been asked about. With some friends, but I haven't had any that stuck just yet. But we should do a vote, or we should do a poll maybe one day. But I haven't had a name though.
So officially not, but unofficially yes, right?
Right, correct.
Who are your coaches and sparring partners?
My coaches. So I have three different coaches right now. I have a boxing coach, I have a jiu-jitsu and a grappling coach, and I have a Muay Thai coach. So those coaches are Dale. My boxing coach is named Dale Roybal, who I met as a teenager growing up boxing. He's still my coach to this day. Jiu-jitsu is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu black belt in jiu-jitsu and judo. Uh, Pan American black belt champion from Brazil. His name is Felipe. He's located out here in California, here in the United States. Very good professor, very good jiu-jitsu. And then Tyler Wombles for Muay Thai. He's had several UFC fighters come through his gym and up and coming fighters as well. So I'm happy to be there. My sparring partners, I've had several different ones. I have, I've sparred a handful of guys. I was actually in preparation for one of the flyweights in the UFC. And then also I've been able to get some rounds in with TJ Dillashaw, One Archuleta, and Bellator here in Southern California. And then one another fighter. He's 4-0. He trains at our gym, our jiu-jitsu gym. So I get some very good rounds with him, boxing, MMA, and jiu-jitsu. So pretty good sparring partners. I've had some very high level sparring.
How would you describe your fighting style?
Well, I feel like I'm very I mix it up very well, and I feel like a lot of people see me as maybe a grappler with good hands or whatever, but I feel like I mix it up very well, and I feel like that's what makes me very unique in MMA. And I just the way I put it all together is just a style. I feel personally is my style that makes me stand out.
Do you have a favorite strike and favorite submission?
Yes, I like um I like a good jab. I like a good jab, and I like submissions. I would say a rear naked choke or a guillotine choke. So I'm very good once I get could attack the neck. I feel very strong there.
How did you feel when you stepped into the cage for the first time in your life?
Um, it was I competed for a long time. I competed in jiu-jitsu tournaments, wrestling tournaments, and a lot of sparring and boxing. So It was just, I think my first fight, I realized that you have to blend it all together. You know, you see in MMA that guys that are very good at a certain thing, and if they don't blend it together, you know, it's it's hard for them to, you know, to find ways to win. You know, for example, in the UFC, I just watched Ryan Hall, very good jiu-jitsu, but his striking, you know, he would have to work on his striking. So that's something after my first fight I really wanted to do. I really wanted to get in the boxing gym back in there, just focus on boxing, and then get in jiu-jitsu academy, focus just on jiu-jitsu. Go to a wrestling room, focus just on wrestling. When it's time to fight, you put it all together.
So, which was your hardest amateur fight?
My hardest amateur fight, I would say either my second or third fight, because I would say my second fight because the fighter came out of a very good gym, Alliance MMA, and they've had very good fighters come out of there. One of the probably bigger names is Dominic Cruz, and I mean they've had a lot of good fighters, but he was one of them, and I think he was surprised after the fight. I think he was surprised how well I was able to mix it up, and he had very good Muay Thai, very good Jiu-Jitsu, but I was able to capitalize on certain positions and get the win.
What can you say about your professional debut? How did you feel heading into that fight, and how did you defeat the opponent?
I felt very good. I felt great. I trained very hard for that fight, just like every fight. I won by TKO, so I won by um I won by finish. So that was the goal. So I was able to accomplish that, and I was very happy about that.
About Karolis Buslis, it also finished via TKO your second fight, right?
Yes, I fought a fighter named Karolis Bussos from Lithuania. Very good striker. He had very good kicks, and I was able to get a TKO finish as well there, which is a good win. And he was a good opponent.
Well, interestingly, every single fighter from Lithuania I know, for example, Modestas Bukauskas, US Tolarenko, Marius Jaromskis, all of them are great
Yes.
strikers. I've never seen a great wrestler from Lithuania, for example, but all of them are top-notch strikers.
Yes, very good striker. Corollas was. He was excellent, by the way. So he kicked me one time as a head kick in the arena we fought in. The whole crowd was, cheering. So he's a very good striker, and he's good. Like I said, he's a good opponent.
About your third fight, that was your one and only loss of the career. So how were you feeling after that? I mean, does it mentally affect a fighter?
Yeah, that's a good question, Vlad. I was disappointed, very disappointed because um I felt I won the fight, and I know a lot of people say that. I know a lot of people say this, that they feel that they won in a close decision. Um, but I feel that I did what enough to win, and I feel the third round, the deciding round of the fight, I feel I was able to land some very good shots on the ground, land some good shots on the feet, and I just was very disappointed. And I took some time off to just focus on training and just get better. And I came back and I was able to work on some of the things that I needed to work on.
But then you bounced back with a win. I mean, your next fight was pretty much a good way to recover from that, right?
Correct. And I fought a very good grappler. He's a came from a very good jiu-jitsu background. He was a black belt. He actually fought a friend of mine uh, before me, and he was able to submit him rear naked choke. So I knew he was going to be very good on the ground, and I was aware of these things, and I was able to land some good ground and pound, and I won by unanimous, 50-45 across the scorecards.
Do you have the favorite quote?
My favorite quote. There's a lot of good quotes. Uh, there's probably different ones. My favorite fighter of all time is Mike Tyson. So I like quotes from Mike Tyson.
Yeah, I get it. Mike Tyson was actually having a lot of great quotes. I mean,
Yes.
he was always staying motivated, especially back in the 90s. Do you have a favorite animal?
Favorite animal? That's another good question. I like the animals that are fast but good hunters, like a jaguar or a cheetah, something like this. You know, like good, fast, smart animals.
So in general, we can say that you're a fan of cats in some way.
A little bit. I like dogs too. I like, but yes, I like the animals because they're pretty smart. You know, they could think quickly, and they're hunters as well.
How many kilos do you cut for your fights?
I cut. Let's see. I cut normally about 15 pounds. So kilos would it would be right.
7.
7 kilos. Yes, yes. There you go. So it's about 7 kilos, which is okay. I feel good at that weight. I feel strong, and it's the way I should fight at. I've sparred guys that are 135, and they're just a little bit bigger, muscular, a little bit taller. So 125s at flyweight is good for me.
Have you ever tried an extreme weight cut, for example, 25 plus pounds?
Oh, I I have not because I always try to do it the right way. I want to be prepared, and I think I train very hard, so the weight naturally comes off.
Would you like to add something, or would you like to give a shout out to somebody? Would you like maybe to greet someone or send regards to somebody?
Yes, I like to thank my current coaches, Dale Roybal, Felipe, and Tyler Wombles, and all the coaches that have helped me up to this point, and all my training partners as well. Um, just friends and family and everybody that supports me. I thank them as also.
Thanks a lot for this interview. I hope you extend your winning streak in the next fight.
Thank you, Vlad. I hope to, make the UFC. That's my goal. And next time we do an interview, hopefully we'll be one step closer to that.
Absolutely. I always hope for it. No problem. Thank you so much for this. I will put it to creation now in a few hours. It will be live. I'll send you video.
All right. Thank you, Vlad. Have a good day.
Thank you, Aaron.
Okay. Bye bye.